All right. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Stephen Adibayo. I'm the Programs and Grant Coordinator for Grant Officer for Greenlight Initiative.
Okay. Yeah. Nice to have you here in the studio. Now, for the people that don't know about Greenlight Initiative, can you tell us more about your organization?
Okay, so very quickly, Greenlight Initiative is a Nigerian-based non-profit that promotes good health, safety, and sustainable development. And of course, we have achieved this through over the years through capacity workshop, advocacy, self-empowerment, and of course, research and development. Yes.
Okay, so can you give us like an overview or rundown of Greenlight Initiative's ongoing projects and objectives?
Okay, so currently we are Greenlight is implementing a project titled Catalyzing Youth Action for Accountability in Governance, and of course it's been implemented in Nasarawa and FCT.
Okay.
And so the aim of the project is to get young people engaged in social change, and that is we're actually focusing on getting them to hold their leaders accountable for their campaign promises. If you look at a lot of things that is going on around the world right now, a lot of challenges, you discover that young people are the most vulnerable.
Okay.
So that is why we are having this project, just to get young people hold their leaders accountable, because some of those challenges are linked to campaign promises, unfulfilled campaign promises. And just like I said, young people are the most vulnerable. They are receiving the hit the most, so they must be at the forefront of the most participating governance, accountability. They must be able to hold their leaders accountable for their campaign promises. So that's what the project is about.
Okay. Now, you just made mention of the fact that young people were part of the driving force for catalyzing youth action for accountability. Apart from the youth, what other thing inspired the initiation of this particular project, particularly with engaging the youth?
Yes, so just like I said, a lot of challenges are going on around the world, especially in Nigeria currently, and young people are the most vulnerable.
Okay.
Talk about insecurity. Recently we had some news about insecurity, and if you check some of those people who were victims of this insecurity, you discover that young people like they are part of this. They face this challenge. Talk about unemployment. Talk about health challenge around the world. You discover that young people, just like I said, they are the most vulnerable. And so if we there's one kind of I won't say there's one kind of what would I call it now? Young people believe after not everybody though, we believe after election we don't really have any part to play again.
Okay.
So we believe everything ends after election. After a candidate, maybe we must have had a candidate, and so we sit down, relax, and leave our leaders to do whatever they like. So what we as Greenlight we are trying to do is to let young people know that after election there are still a lot of things to be done.
Okay.
Either your candidate has won an election or not, you still have a role to play in like achieving the Nigeria we want, and that is getting young people, holding leaders accountable for their campaign promises. Either your candidate won or not, you have the right to hold them accountable, just to make them fulfill their campaign promises in order to achieve the Nigeria we want.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a very offhanded question here. Is it really possible for we as Nigerians to hold the leaders accountable?
Yes,
How?
It is possible. Yes, so there are a lot of strategies of doing that.
Okay.
And that is one of the objective of this project, to first let people know that there are a lot of ways to do this, to hold leaders accountable. But then if you don't have that awareness of doing that, you might not, if you don't have that knowledge, you might not be able to hold leaders accountable. I'm going to cite an example. Recently, we trained some young people in Nasarawa and FCT. We trained them on strategies of holding leaders accountable. That is, with the use of social media, you could hold your leaders accountable. You could write a petition, right? There are a lot of different ways of holding leaders accountable, and so a lot we realized. We conducted the research recently, and this is kind of like a summary finding of the research. And this is we realized that young people, one challenge we have generally as young people is that we are not really interested in anything holding leaders accountable. We believe if we talk, if we speak, our voice won't get anywhere. Then another thing is that we don't really know that channel of holding leaders accountable. Just like I said, we can use our social media, we can use our phone. A lot of us have phones. We can use our phones. We can write petitions. All these are the strategies of holding leaders accountable. But then, if you are not aware of that, there's no way you can do it. Recently, we had advocacy visit to one of the House Rep member, and he was telling us about the ZIP project that we have like 360 or so zones. There are projects that has been allocated. I mean, there are projects for each region, which young people can start holding their leaders accountable through that by tracking all those projects, right? If there's a project for a road in this particular area, you can track that project. But then how to do that? If you don't know that there's a project for that, you can't hold anybody accountable for any campaign promises. Yeah, so.
All right. Okay, so now that you have told us how it is possible, can you show us how youths are being empowered to take action for accountability in communities on the Green Light Initiative project?
Yes, I just explained earlier that through the support of LEAP Africa and the Nigerian Youth Future Fund, we have been able to train young people in Nasarawa and Abuja.
Okay.
Train them on strategies of holding leaders accountable, and that is one of, because we realize a lot of people don't even know how. They don't know when to hold leaders accountable. They don't know where to hold leaders accountable. So those are the strategies we have come up with as Green Light Initiative to train young people, to empower them to start participating in governance meaningfully. That's holding leaders accountable. And instead of going around shouting and saying the government is not doing well, you can start somewhere. Start by holding your leaders accountable for their campaign promises.
Okay, so during the course of this show today, you have talked about the fact that you have organized projects in Nasarawa and also right here in the FCT. Can you give us some specific activities or initiatives of these projects in Nasarawa and FCT?
Yes, so we have had, I just explained earlier, we've had data collection.
Okay.
And the aim of that is to first identify, let us know, are young people really interested in governance accountability? Do they know who to hold accountable for campaign promises?
Okay.
Do they know where to hold their leaders accountable? Are they scared of doing that? Yes, that is another area. Are they scared of doing that? Because from the reports we received, from the data we received, we realized that some of them are scared. They will tell you, if you hold your local government chairman accountable for his campaign promises, if you tell him he's not doing well, your life might be at risk. So those are the results we received from our data collection. Then we actually worked on that to prepare like a training. Just like I said, we train people in Nasarawa and FCT, and that was based on the report research. The data we received from the street,
from the findings.
From the findings. So we actually train young people on the strategies of holding their leaders accountable. Then, of course, we've had a radio awareness program where we've had different guests on this program.
Sure.
We've invited different guests, those who have knowledge about accountability, and even your youth and youth leaders to come up and talk about governance, accountability, and meaningful youth participation. And of course, we've had there's no way we can achieve this without good collaboration with stakeholders.
Okay.
So we've had to visit some critical stakeholders to seek their commitment to this project. Because if we keep saying that young people should participate in holding leaders accountable, and maybe there's a particular hand that is not really supporting our initiative, so we might just be struggling to achieve the goal of the project. So we've had to visit stakeholders to seek their commitment. And of course, I've said something about the awareness, because it's very important to let people know why they need to participate in holding leaders accountable.
Okay, so you have obviously made some progress, but apart from the progress that you have made, what have been your challenges?
Yes, we've had some challenges,
Okay.
and some of one of the major challenge we had is like young people, interest of young people. Most young people are not really interested. Just like I said earlier, they are not really interested in governance accountability, and it's not something they really want to go into. And I've explained earlier from our data findings, we realized that some of them are scared, some of them are interested, some of them are not awareness. Some of them are not aware of the need to do that. And so those are some of the challenges we had, and we've actually been able to address this by of course creating awareness to let people know why they should do that. I explained earlier that insecurity, talking about out of school children, talking about unemployment, young people are the most vulnerable. And so we told them, if you sit down and relax and allow your local government chairman, your senator, your House of Rep member, to embezzle your money and just go scot-free after like 8 years, then you sit down, you be the one to receive the hit. So we have created awareness to let people know, stimulate their efforts towards holding their leaders accountable towards achieving the Nigeria we want.
Okay. Now, I see here that most of this initiative is focused around Nasarawa and FCT. Now, are there plans to extend it to other states in Nigeria, looking at the northern states? Yes.
So, just like I explained earlier, Green Light Initiative, we are non-profit, and of course we are limited to
by resources.
By resources. But of course, after this, we hope to scale up to other states.
Okay.
And we hope to start sending out proposals to request for fund, and of course to scale up, because this is a very critical, a very important project. We actually need to take up to other states in Nigeria.
Okay.
So there's a plan for that.
All right. Now, how does the project collaborate with local authorities and community leaders? Because I think you just started talking about the proposals, but can you give us more details on that? How does the collaboration work?
Yes, I said something about collaboration with the critical stakeholders. There's no way we can achieve this without having to collaborate with critical stakeholders, and we have started making that moves by visiting some critical stakeholders to introduce the project to them, let them see the need for young people to start holding their leaders accountable. Let them look for a way to get these young people involved in governance accountability, so that we can really achieve a better Nigeria. So we started making moves like paying courtesy visits to different critical stakeholders.
Okay. Now, apparently, there is something happening on the 19th of March. It's actually a Green Light Initiative project. So tell us about this particular activity that will happen on the 19th of March.
Yes, so thank you so much for that. So as part of Green Light project activity, we are planning a stakeholders workshop.
Okay.
By 19th of March. Yes. So the aim of the workshop is to bring together critical stakeholders, just like government officials, youth groups, youth focused organizations, police, and people we know that they are actually relevant to this project. We are bringing them together to sit down and explore strategies of getting young people to participate in governance accountability. I said something earlier. If youth are ready to participate in governance accountability, and maybe there are other critical stakeholders who are not really interested in that, then we might just be struggling to achieve the goal. And so during that stakeholders capacity workshop, we shall be discussing ways to get young people participate in governance. Of course, we might be also addressing challenges which youths face, because they are in a better place, better position to tell us this is how you have this is where and how you have been getting it wrong. This is how you can do it to achieve your goal. So these are the things we hope to of course achieve during the stakeholders workshop. And just like I said, it's coming up on 19th March 2024.
Where will it be holding?
It's coming up in I think Quali Best Hotel.
Okay.
In Utako. Quali Best Hotel in Utako.
Okay, so if there's someone out there that needs more information about this, how do they reach out to you?
Okay, so you can reach out to me. You can reach out to us on 09030008894, or you can also visit our website www.greenlightsinitiative.org. Then you can also visit us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Green for Lights, capital letter G, then 4, that is number 4, then lights.
Okay. Now, before you go, what's the final word you have to say to everyone listening right now?
Yes, so my final word is that we cannot achieve the Nigeria we want if young people sit down and relax and allow our leaders to steal our funds, steal our money, and leave. So we must get young people must sit up and start holding their leaders accountable for their campaign promises. If not, we continue to suffer. We continue to receive the heat of unfulfilled campaign promises.
Okay. All right. We should learn how to make our leaders accountable. That's the key word, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, T, for being part of the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, if you're just joining us, this has been Catalyzing Youth Action for Accountability in Governance. And today the focus has been on discussing Green Light Initiative's ongoing projects and governance accountability in Nasarawa and FCT. The program will make a return, same time, same station, right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. My name is Benedicta Henshaw. Many thanks for listening.